For the last 5 years, I've been developing a tactical real-world game that's designed to be played in urban spaces. What you're about to watch is a single playthrough of this game on a spooky winter's night here at the Barbican Estate in central London. The game is called Seektag. It's a stealth-based game that's like hiding and seeking at the same time. There are 7 of us out here hiding in the darkness tonight, and everyone is wearing a secret 3-digit number. If we can spot someone's number, that's proof we saw them and we'll get 5 points. But if they see us back, we'll lose those 5 points and neither player will score. So we have to spot people and get away with it. If we get a number wrong, we'll lose 3 points. Players are not notified when they're spotted, so you never know when someone could be nearby. We can also score points by tagging zones, by scanning QR codes hidden at different locations. In today's game, there are 4 zones, each worth 2 points, and we have to tag a minimum of 2. So now let's dive into the game. I'll jump in again to explain more about what's happening as we go along.
Alright everyone, welcome back. Very chilly winter's night in central London. We're here at Barbican today. About 15 seconds to go. We're about to start playing a big chilly game of extreme hide and seek in and around Barbican, which is a pretty intense, busy, complex, massive piece of London. Game's just begun. What's our plan? We have to tag at least 2 zones today. Let's just get into cover. Think I'm alone. Make a quick plan. What have we got?
It's difficult to make a detailed plan this early in the game, other than general movement strategies. So like, am I going to try and move quickly, or am I going to stick to one area and try and spot people there? The only other thing you can really base it on is the zones that are in the game, and decide whether or not you're going to try and tag them. If you are going to try and tag them, as in this game, we have to tag 2. Which ones are you going to tag? As it happens, I'm starting in the upper right corner of the map, and that happens to be right next to one of the zones. However, that zone is on the level beneath me, so I can't get to it without changing levels and taking a risk. So, I'm planning to go and take a peek at that zone from the upper level and see if I can spot any other sneaky players trying to tag it.
In the corner here, I can overlook. I can actually see Concrete Stairway from up here. What have we got? Okay, I think this is a bit obvious actually. We'll go round the other side. Now this is much better because I've got something behind me. If anybody goes, there's the zone right there. If anybody goes for that, I would have a really good view from here. I swear I just heard something. Well, we can't wait here all game either. I could go down the corner, of course. Now I'm talking about tagging it, which is maybe not a great idea, although I have just cleared it from up here.
It's easy to forget at moments like this, when everything is quiet, that there are 6 other players out there moving through the shadows trying to spot you. Equally, standing still for any amount of time starts to make you nervous very quickly, both because if you're not seeing anyone, then you want to change the plan, and because if you're moving through the landscape, it reduces the chance of someone coming up behind you, so you can focus more of your attention ahead of you. I was tempted to go down to the lower level and tag the zone myself, but ultimately decided it was too risky. Instead, I'm going to abandon this hideout and head into the busier centre of the arena and attempt to tag under stair, and I'm hoping I'll spot some of the other players along the way.
Trying not to be too suspicious. I don't think that was one of us. I just saw somebody in that gap there. I don't think that was one of us. Let's get into the middle of the arena now. Some more people out there. That's not us either. Where do we go from here?
As I passed through the gateway into this new area, I thought I heard a scuff of a foot or some kind of movement. I can't see anyone on my level, so I'm immediately thinking this sound must have come from the level below, that's visible through these large holes in the floor all the way along this walkway.
I thought I heard something just then. Now let's get out of here.
Spotting two players together is usually pretty rare in Seektag, and I'm guessing these two players were working together. Great for me as now I have 10 points, but also incredibly risky, because if I get spotted by either of those players at any point in the rest of the game, I could lose all 10 points. Lucky for me, they seem to be moving away from Understair, the zone I'm on my way to tag, but that could change very quickly if they bump into another player, so I need to keep moving.
It's so hard to see past these lights. The flare they create makes it almost impossible to see into these little hiding places behind. I can't see anything. I'm just now aware, as I've tagged them, that I really need to not bump into them, but since they were going the other way, I'm hoping that this is going to work and they're not going to come back along that passageway there. Alright, where can we go? Can't go the other way. Maybe cross over. I really don't want to bump into them. There's a good chance they might be coming out on the other side. So maybe we orbit round a different direction completely. Still nobody there. I was considering going the other way round towards first time, but now I'm starting to wonder because I really don't want to bump into them. First time's on the other side. Okay, maybe we switch and we go for Wildlife Garden. That could be a play from here. That's this way. That makes more sense. I don't think they're going to be going that way. There's that passageway. Oh my God. This, guys. This piece of paper moved in the wind and it caught my attention. I thought somebody was hiding there. Can you believe? I'm being set off by bits of paper. Okay, I think that's the new plan. We're going to try and go round to the top end of the arena, go for Wildlife Garden. I am not picking up any traces of anything in this area. So either I've missed something, which is completely possible, or there's nobody here. This is very difficult. I don't know how I'm going to do this. There could be anybody in here, in this bit between me and where I want to go. Let's just go. I think we're just going to have to go. I can't stay still. I don't want people coming up behind me, so it's important to keep a little bit of momentum.
Open spaces like this one are a real challenge. You can take your time and carefully skirt around the edge, clearing each area as you go, but I don't want this space, which of course could be totally empty by the way, to slow me down. So I'm relying on a speed strategy. Speed doesn't work so well in the day, but at night moving quickly gives you a basic level of cover, and I'm just hoping it will be enough. What I didn't know at this moment is that Mean Machine has just tagged the Wildlife Garden zone about 10 seconds ago, and could still be in the area. That's the same zone I'm heading straight towards. It's only been 3 minutes since I last saw another player, but already I'm moving in a less cautious way. It's genuinely really difficult to keep expecting to find people around every corner, and at some point your brain just kind of reduces the threat level.
Let's see, anybody peeking? I was almost kind of using myself a bit like bait just then, and now I'm curious, has anybody popped out? I don't see anything. I could be alone. The zone is just around this corner, so I'm going to get ready to try and tag that. I've still got those 2 spots from earlier. It's gone very quiet. Usually that means we're about to bump into someone. Oh no, the lights just came on. The last thing I need. Okay, we're here. Alright. Now, we're going to do something quite a lot more risky. So, I didn't really think about the plan beyond this point, but the problem I've got is that now I'm heading back to the kind of top right-ish of the arena, which The last I saw of them is where those two players were that I spotted. My main goal is just to not get seen by those two players, because they are my points right now. But the problem is that as time goes on, that information is basically old now. So now it's almost a bit like a treat it from scratch again. Where am I here? Where is this? Spooky. Can I get along there? Am I stuck? I've actually never been down this road before. That looks like pretty stuck. Is there any way here? No. I'm absolutely not going down there. That looks terrifying. What's around this corner? Okay, I can't be lost. That's a really bad thing to happen. Okay, I know where this is. Let's just use this. I think at this point I just need to get back in the mix. I don't think I just saw that number. I think I almost need to not get distracted by this. I have no idea if he just saw me.
Okay, so I made a pretty big mistake here and it's got me into a crazy situation. I walked straight out around the end of the building without taking a look first and realised I was standing in full view of Garomi, who was walking up the other side of the road. Luckily, we saw each other at about the same moment and the distance was just on the edge of legibility for our numbers, making an immediate spot unlikely, but not impossible. Not knowing what to do and surprised by this sudden standoff, we both went defensive and turned our numbers to the side, and then I faded back around the corner and into a small alcove. But now I have a really big problem. As I moved back around the edge of the building, you can see I took a quick look at my immediate options for escape or hiding, both on the main road and the side road I'm on, and my assessment of those is that there's not anywhere I can get to fast enough if Garomi runs straight at me. My best guess is that Garomi will assume I just got his number and will immediately try to counterspot me. In Seektag, if you think someone's just seen your number and you don't think there's anyone else watching you, then there's no reason not to run straight at them and counterspot them, equalising their points for seeing you. If I had immediately run back around the corner, I might cause Garomi to make this assumption and force him to charge me. So I tried my best not to look like I'd spotted his number and was fleeing the scene. But my feeling was that he would still assume the worst and come after me. In this situation, without any good options for hiding or escape, an immediate attempted counterspot is the worst case scenario for me. Let's consider some options. If I had turned and run immediately, there's a chance I could have made it back to the end of the side road before he could see where I went. But in the moment, I didn't feel there was enough time, and as we just found out, I also don't know the area that well. Alternatively, I could have tried to hide behind the only available obstacles on the other side of the road. You can probably see from my body language that this was my first immediate thought, but I guessed that the angle to Garomi was too open, and assuming he was heading directly to the corner, I quickly ruled out crossing the road. Equally, even if I could get to these pillars, I felt it would be pretty obvious where I had gone. There is one other immediate option that could have worked, which is to use the small recessed doorway halfway up my side road. This looked close enough to get to in time, but I couldn't tell how recessed the space was from a distance. If we presume there was enough space, I could hide there and be safe from a glance up the road, but if he explored any further, he'd surely see me. So here I am back in my hiding space. Let's take another look and see, after all that, whether this doorway would have been a viable hiding spot. From my previous experience, it looked like it was not deep enough at all, but as we get closer, it becomes obvious that it's actually very much deep enough. So I could absolutely have got right into this without any trouble, and the view back that way you can see is actually pretty good, but obviously if he had then come up this way, looking this way, I mean, it's pretty dark in there actually. You might not check it, especially if he was thinking that I'd gone right at the end there. You may not look into there, so especially if you're on this side of the road. But then there's also this, which I didn't even know about, which is an even deeper doorway, again with a nice shadow. Look at this sharp shadow here. Imagine sinking into that spot there. So also actually pretty good.
surprisingly good. Although I think if you were on that side of the road, walking up this way, I think you would definitely check that. Whereas this, on this side, I don't think so. I'm not sure you'd even look in there, so maybe it would have worked after all, but we'll never know.
And so I selected the only remaining option, cram myself right into the corner of the larger doorway immediately behind me. Don't get me wrong, this isn't great, but in the moment I wasn't aware of anything better. In this position, there's a slim chance that I could still evade him, and of course, I still haven't actually seen his number, so that's still on the cards for now. I just needed a bit of luck, and that's exactly what I got. So bearing in mind I can't see the notifications we're seeing on screen right now, at this point I'm trying to figure out what might have happened to delay Garomi from coming around the corner already. In fact, I'm starting to worry that he actually caught sight of my number and got away. You can see a couple of times I almost go to move out of my alcove, but then decide against it. You can see I'm also still trying to assess that doorway further up the side road, as now it's starting to look like I have more time than I thought. I'm considering moving there. Ultimately, enough time passes that I decided I have to take a look around the corner and see if I can get an understanding of what is happening. If there's no sign of Garomi, I'll have to assume he got my number and got away. Still can't believe I got away with this, and I think the distraction of bumping into Mean Machine is what allowed it to happen. I'm still not totally sure how this played out, but somewhere between seeing me and coming around the corner, Garomi was spotted by Mean Machine and then immediately counter-spotted. So Mean Machine was somewhere in this area too, but thankfully unaware of me. This distraction took just long enough that I think Garomi assumed I wouldn't still be right where he last saw me. So when he rounded the corner, he was looking to the end of the road and trying to work out where I could have gone. I was so nervous that he would turn to the right and see me, and here I'm trying to pick the perfect moment to swap sides and get into cover behind the wall, but I don't want to move while I'm still in his peripheral vision or risk making any noise while he's still so nearby. It's so difficult to make yourself move when someone is so close by. Your body just wants to stay still. So once I'm behind the wall, my main concern is that he will abandon his search and come back to the main road. So I know I need to cross over as soon as possible. Having peeked and seen that I think I have enough distance to make it work, this couple crossed the road and give me the perfect opportunity. It's not that I think moving with them would completely hide me, but if I cross into cover just ahead of them, then if I do catch Garomi's eye and he turns to look, the couple crossing the road might forgive any fast movement that caught his attention, but I need to be fully across first. Keeping an eye on him while I cross, I think I've got away with this, and so all thoughts turn to an exit strategy. I'm planning to use a set of stairs to emerge right back where I was when I made the plan to tag Wildlife Garden.
At some point, I'm going to feel like I can talk about what just happened. That was insane. I can't believe I got away with that. Right, what do we do from here? Oh man, I can hardly process that. What do I do from here? Big question. Quick look. Nobody in the dark. Okay. What on earth do I do? I can't stay here for long. It's a terrible place to be. I've got to survive 8 minutes. Okay, somebody has seen me back. Oh, did I not put it in? I didn't put it in. 513? Oh God, okay, it comes down to this. Yes, oh my God. Thank you, brain. Oh my God. Okay. I was only about 80% sure of that. Okay, so we're doing great. We just need to not bump into these people. I could go and tag more zones, but I absolutely don't need to. What could we do? That might not be a bad idea, you know. That is on the other side of the arena. I could go that way. There's no way I'm going near that. That's going to be way, way too out there. Let's plan to go for the other side of the arena. I'm going to go across here, up onto the high walk, through into the other side, and then down into street level again. I've got 7 minutes to do it, and I need to not bump into 3 people who I've already seen. It doesn't matter too much if I see anyone else at this point, and I don't think many people are going to be coming this way. So you see this high walk up here? That is where I'm going. I'm going to go along that. Try and still remember to be careful. I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to cut across. There's going to be a lot of running in this half. Still careful. Still being careful. Nothing. Okay. Green light. It's looking clear. Looking clear. Okay. Now, if I've got any cardio left with which to talk while I do this, one thing I could do, or could try to do, is I could try to not go for the zone, but instead just try and go for the kinds of places people will be using to spot people at the zone. So that basically I'm like sniping snipers, as a famous Seektag player once said. That might not be a bad idea, because I don't need the zone. So it's more like a bit of a, like, where are people gonna be type question. That's none of us. Just a helpful group of people for cover. Right. Down the end of this road here is where that other zone is. Basically there at street level. The question I have is, if someone was trying to camp that, where would they be, and how can I see them? Almost certainly it will be on this corner here. Maybe it will be on this side, but I don't like my chances of going around and then having to come towards them. So I think I'm going to use this group of people as cover. See if I can gain a bit of ground behind them. I don't want to be right with them, but I want whoever's there on the corner, theoretically, to ignore that group and mark them as safe in their head. And then I want to use that to see them. I'll aim to see them and then come back away this way. But that group is kind of helping me, because it's creating a little bit of a bubble, a gap in observation. I think, if there is anyone on this corner, of course there might not be. But let's see. Let's see. A little bit closer. They're creating some noise as well, which is really helpful. Very helpful for me. This is just about perfect. Just about perfect, and I don't see anybody here. Nobody here. Crazy. How is there no one here? This would be ideal. It's right there. That's the zone, right there. And there's nobody here. Makes me want to go tag the zone. That's how free it feels. I was kind of hoping there'd be somebody right where I am now. If there was, I think I would have got away with that. But there just isn't. There isn't anybody in any angle that I can see. There's nobody here. So what do I do from here? How long left? Little time check. 2.5 minutes, guys. 2.5 minutes. How? Nobody. I can look how far I can see down there. I never noticed this before. I can see all the way to the other end. There's nobody crossing, at least. This is way too bright. I'll get away from this. Yikes. Nobody on that side either. Just a second ago, I caught a glimpse of somebody here, but they were moving kind of slowly. So I was kind of guessing that maybe it wasn't one of us. I'm going to take a risk and come back out. Just in the off chance. There's a guy on a bike. That would be a good tactic, wouldn't it? Is there anybody coming down here? There's nobody even in sight. I seem to have found the quietest part of the arena once again. I don't know how I do this. There's nobody. I'm just looking down there. That's definitely not us. Not players. And I can't see anybody in these pillars here either.
So I just got spotted out of nowhere, so let's take a closer look at that. What we're about to see is the power of a false assumption. Well, several false assumptions really. The first is that I was definitely banking on finding someone here, but when that didn't happen I started to feel like I must be wrong about this zone being a hotspot. In my head it seemed such a reasonable place to find people, and I think I got too attached to my plan. So then when I couldn't see anyone, it felt unbelievable to me, so I came to the opposite conclusion, that no one at all was over this side of the arena. The second major assumption was more unconscious, my search area. The Barbican is so different to the surrounding city that in my head I was acting as if the edge of the estate was the edge of the map, when actually players can be absolutely anywhere. So the places I was looking to find people were all inside the estate itself. After all of this, there absolutely was someone near this zone. In fact, he tagged it only seconds before I arrived, and used this stairway to quickly move back up to the top level on the other side of this bridge. These few frames are the only video evidence I have of Mean Machine being in the area, and you can see him quickly moving into cover right as he spots me. Amazingly, I actually walked out onto the same bridge that he's hiding on, but my attention is so focused on the Barbican side and the road underneath that I never saw him hiding just meters away, setting me up for this incredible line.
I seem to have found the quietest part of the arena once again.
What can I say? Congrats to Mean Machine for playing this perfectly, but the game isn't over yet.
Little time check. I don't want to blow it all now by getting seen. Let's get back into shadow. I might head to that corner. I think maybe things have got really busy around Concrete Stair, that's my guess. But that is actually only over there. Now I'm getting really risky though. I've got 1 minute and I just need to not bump into anyone I've already seen. If I can get anyone else, that's a separate thing. That could have been one of us. That could have been one of us. Nope, it wasn't. The design of their jumper made it look like there was a number. From the side it looked like there was a number, but there wasn't. 23 seconds. Anybody transitioning? I'm just trying not to get found. The game is just don't get found at this point. So late to be doing this, but I don't see anybody. Right, last check, 7 seconds. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. I think we've done it, guys. Holy moly. Okay. That went very, very well. I can't believe I got away with the spot on Garomi. I should never have got away with that. And actually, those two players I saw through those holes through into the lower level. That was Planky and Le Chat Noir. That was insanely lucky. And I don't know if they were playing together or if they had just bumped into each other. I'm not really sure why they were staying like together like that. My thinking is that maybe they just bumped into each other, but I'm not actually sure. That, honestly, is what I have built this game on, the luck of that. Although, to be fair, I did hear them. I did hear something. I knew that there was something going on. That's why I stuck around that. But in the end, I was somebody late for their music lesson. I didn't realise how close I actually was to them, and I think they were trying to be quiet by the looks of it. It sort of looked in their behaviour like they knew they were maybe being loud, but they definitely didn't know I was there. And then the Garomi one. So many times in that kind of situation where you see somebody and they see you, first of all, he might have actually seen my number because I saw him really late. If you look at my delayed reaction, at one point I was considering just running out and just running straight at him so that I could neutralize this standoff, because I wasn't sure if he'd seen my number. I couldn't quite tell how much of a look he got. If I had done that, it would have ruined that whole thing, but then I was worried about saving time and not being unsure, and then him running away and me just like still thinking there might be a chance, but he's already got me. But I decided, for whatever reason, I decided to wait it out. Peeked again, saw him again because he was obviously trying to figure out how he could get an angle on me, and then I just went for the bold tuck into that tiny alcove. Nobody ever gets away with that. I was like watching him walking past, and in my head I'm just thinking, I have to basically be brave and move to the other side in case he just turns around and glances behind him, which he might well have done. In fact, I was just thinking, if you don't, literally in my head, this is how it went. If you don't move now, he's going to turn around, and you have to just do the scary thing and just move towards him, but to get into cover. And it worked. It worked. How did that work? And then, of course, I was like, he might come back. He might realise, he might look around and realise I couldn't have walked all that way or run all that way in that time. So, thank you guys. Thank you for playing along. This has been really fun. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I see in a game of Seektag in this spooky winter's night. It's actually really nice conditions for playing. Look at this place. Good grief, look at this place. So, it's actually really good conditions for playing because you run around, you get really warm, but actually it's actually pretty good temperature for it. So London is looking especially beautiful tonight. There's something about winter in London that's both a little bit spooky and cinematic at the same time. And of all the places in London, this place, the little glows from all the different windows. It's cute, guys. It's really cute. So just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy what we're doing on this channel, and we're starting something new. Don't forget, you can go and play this game. It is free on our app. The app is free. The whole thing about this is that we just want people to get out there and play. This is what we're about. Go and do it. Just try it. Even more than that, if you know of anybody who you think would love this, please show it to them, because we're actively trying to build this community. So until next time, I just want to say thank you for watching. Stay sneaky, and I will catch you on the next one.